Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Happya Life podcast. I'm your host, Clare Deacon. After deciding survival wasn't enough, I set out on a path to live my best life. I wanted to thrive. Now I'm on a mission to support others. Think you're not good enough, confident enough, brave enough? I'm here to tell you you are, and you can achieve anything. This is your time, so let's do this. Hello and welcome back to this episode of the Happya Life podcast. I'm Clare Deacon, your trauma-informed therapist, positive psychology coach and the founder of Happya. And today we're exploring something that comes up quietly but consistently. It's that feeling of having lost yourself, not in a dramatic breakdown kind of way, but in that subtle way that shows up in a slow drip moment. It's where you wake up and realize you don't quite recognize the person staring back at you in the mirror. Maybe it hit you when your kids stopped needing you in the same way, and suddenly the days feel quieter and emptier than you had expected. Maybe it's that your identity was so deeply wrapped up in being mum, and now they're grown, they're making their own choices, hopefully good ones, and you're left wondering where you end and they begin. Or maybe it's a career thing. Maybe your job has changed, or you stepped away from a business that once defined you. Maybe you took a break. And now you're wondering, who am I without the title, the team, the pressure, the purpose? Perhaps it's a relationship that has shifted. Maybe it has ended. Maybe you're still in it, but something feels different. It feels distant. And you realize you've shaped yourself around another person for so long that you've forgotten what you need or want or love. Or maybe it's just a subtle unraveling, a slow, quiet knowing that the roles you've played no longer fit, and that the version of you who was holding it all together is ready to let go and move in a new direction. And yes, for some of you, it may come from trauma or grief or burnout or a big loss. But for many, it will be just life moving forward and you realizing somewhere along the way you stopped being at the center of your own story. This episode is for the woman who whispers, I don't know who I am anymore, and doesn't know where to begin to make that change. Let me start by saying this really clearly. Feeling lost doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're awakening. You're tuning back into yourself after years of tuning out to survive, to serve, or to be successful. And whilst that may feel confusing or even painful, it's also an invitation. We're not taught how to be with ourselves without the roles, goals, or the chaos. We are taught to perform, to give, to manage. But when life quietens down or shifts gears, what's left is often the realest question of all. Who am I if I'm not what I do or who I take care of? And this is where I want to start gently rebuilding with you. So first of all, let's name the truth that identities are layered and dynamic and they evolve over time. Just because something once fit doesn't mean it still does. And outgrowing an identity, even a good one, is not selfish or wrong, it's growth. Secondly, let's acknowledge the grief that comes with change, even positive change. Letting go of who you were is still a loss, and it deserves space to be honoured before you rush into the next step, before you rush into reinvention of yourself. I had a client recently who said, Claire, my kids are off at uni, and for the first time in 20 years, I'm alone in the house. And I thought I'd love the freedom, but instead, I feel invisible and irrelevant. We sat with that because the truth is, mothering became her full identity, and now he's not sure who she is beyond it. And that's not weakness, it's life. Or perhaps the woman who stepped away from a high powered career to prioritize her health and family and now finds herself doubting her own worth because so much of her value was wrapped up in being productive and achieving. And now that she's resting, she feels like she's really disappeared. And then there's the woman who stayed in a relationship for decades, shaping herself around what kept the peace. And now that it's over, she doesn't know what she likes, what she believes, or what she wants, because it's been so long since she was asked. So, how do you begin to rebuild when you feel so far from who you used to be? You start small and you start honest. This is not about finding a new 5-year plan. It's about gently tuning back into yourself and noticing what feels like truth, not performance. Begin by asking, what roles have I been playing that no longer fit? Who am I trying to be for others? And what might I need to reclaim for myself? Then get curious. What lights you up? Even just a little sparkle. What used to make you lose track of time? What do you miss about the younger version of you? Not from nostalgia, but from knowing that she still lives in you. Let yourself follow those threads. Maybe you loved writing or music or movement. Or you felt most alive when you were near the sea or surrounded by people who saw you fully. These aren't indulgences, they're clues to your essence. Reconnect with your body because identity isn't just a mental concept, it's physical. When you feel safe in your body, you feel more grounded in your choices. Nervous system regulation, breath work, movement, stillness. These are not unnecessary extras. They're foundations for clarity. Give yourself permission to experiment. Try things on. See how they feel. Let it be messy because rebuilding is not about getting it right. It's about feeling your way back to yourself. And most importantly, choose yourself in the small moments. Drink your coffee the way you like it. Set one boundary. Say yes to one thing that excites you and no to one thing that drains you. That's how identity comes back, not in big declarations, but in quiet, consistent choices. If you're listening and thinking, this is me. I've been doing everything for everyone else and I don't know who I am anymore. I want you to hear this clearly. You're not lost. You're just returning. You're not broken. You're becoming. And this season of your life might be the one that brings you home. Reach out if this resonates. Send me a message on Instagram or through the website and let me know what's coming up for you. I can help you find the right next step, whether it's coaching or reflection, or just simply being reminded that you don't have to navigate this alone. You are allowed to evolve. You're allowed to grieve what no longer fits. And you're allowed to build a life that finally includes you at the centre. So thank you for being here, for allowing yourself to pause and reflect, and for choosing the courage to meet the woman you're becoming. I'll see you next week, where we'll explore post-traumatic growth and how healing is more than just recovery, it's transformation. So until then, breathe, notice, and remember the parts of you've forgotten. They're still waiting to be reclaimed. Until next time. If you've enjoyed this episode, ensure you hit subscribe, head on over to my website happiercoach.com, sign up for the weekly newsletter, and let me support you in living a happier life. I'm your host, Clare Deacon. Thank you for listening. Have a fabulous day.